Hello, friends, and welcome to this video. Welcome to this season. How are you doing? Wanted to check in with you. Wanted to sport some of my new merch. This is my Covenant Properties sweatshirt that I was given back in June. Thanks to Mike and Sue DeLong for serving as the delegates to our annual meeting and for bringing me back some merch. It was much too warm in June to wear this, so I'm very happy in this wintry season to be able to sport it now. It's a nice color too. It fits very nicely, and I'm very happy to advertise on behalf of National Covenant Properties. That's part of this season. One of the things that I love about this season is the ability to be thankful. And part of thankfulness is just assessing some of the things that you have, some of the things that have happened over the year, recognizing that there's so much more to give God thanks for than we often tend to notice on a regular basis. The other thing that I was kind of interested in talking about is some of the confusion and confliction that happens to us during this season of the year, emotionally and even intellectually. It's no surprise I have shared with you before that one of my favorite holiday movies, if you can even call it a movie, it's really a short special that was originally made for TV, is A Charlie Brown Christmas. And there are lots of times in my head where that line will go through my mind where Charlie Brown just kind of calls out in exasperation, "Can anyone tell me what Christmas is all about?" I feel that this time of year. Maybe you do too. Just that weird frustration and confliction in our souls. There's so much going on culturally with music and decorations and nostalgia and cards and parties and Christmas specials on television and concerts to go to and all of these kinds of things that for as much as we're trying to fill our soul, even with things that are good, you can eventually get so numb that you find yourself asking, what's the point of all this? What is Christmas all about? And friends, that's why Advent exists. It is the lead up to Christmas. It is the explanation for why Christmas has to happen in the first place, why the Christ child has to be born into this world. And it seems counterintuitive, because if you're trying to follow the church year and you're living in the secular year as well, there's so much emphasis on Christmas and presents and Santa Claus and trees and all of those other things that we want to sit in the joy of the season. But Advent isn't about joy. It's about longing. It's about the hurting world. It's about creation groaning and our souls groaning and the people of God groaning in their spirits. Because we know true liberation only comes when God is with us, when God is among us, when the world is made right because the King sits on the throne and administers justice and peace in all things. So I want to give you permission, especially for those of you who have a hard time with the holidays. You feel lonely, you feel depressed, you feel frustrated and broken and maybe just wanting to crawl up in a ball and hide away until the middle of January. when we can kind of move past all of this. I think those are truly Advent feelings. I think part of our frustration and our psychological struggle is because we're trying to justify joy, nonstop joy, from Thanksgiving through New Year, or from Halloween through New Year, or whatever you think the Christmas season is. And while there can be moments of joy, absolutely, and Christmas tide, again, according to the church here, is really Christmas Day through Epiphany, which is January 6th. That is supposed to be feasting and rejoicing. But Advent, leading up to that celebration, is about fasting and penitence because of the brokenness in the world and the brokenness in us. So just to set the tone for Advent and to remind us and call us back to the purpose, I want to read a very old prophecy from Isaiah chapter 11, the first 9 verses, where the prophet says, "Then a shoot will spring up from the stem of Jesse, and a branch from his roots will bear fruit. The Spirit of Yahweh will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and strength, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of Yahweh. And he will delight in the fear of Yahweh. And he will not judge by what his eyes see, nor make a decision by what his ears hear. But with righteousness he will judge the poor, and decide with fairness for the afflicted of the earth. And he will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he will slay the wicked. Also righteousness will be the belt about his loins, and faithfulness the belt about his waist. And the wolf will dwell with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the young goat, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little boy will lead them. Also the cow and the bear will graze, their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. The nursing child will play by the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child will put his hand on the viper's den. They will not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea." Do you hear that mix in there? It starts with a stump. There's a tree that has been cut down, and that's not a good thing. That's the end to a kingdom. But the prophet says there's a little shoot stemming forth from that stump. There's new hope. It's slow, it's small, it's going to take a while to regrow a tree, but eventually there will be a king. And that king will do a mixture of things. Yes, there will be judgment and punishment for the wicked, but there will also be joy and righteousness and hope again. And it will be a very peaceful kingdom where even the animals are put right, in right relationship with one another, and humanity in right relationship with creation. And the reason all of that can happen is because the knowledge of the God of the universe will fill the earth like waters flooding the sea. Beloved, that is longing, that is hope, that is trusting that one day those things will come true, but we're not there yet. And it's going to take a lot. I do think the days are growing darker and maybe more ripe and pregnant for the coming of the King. But until we get there, keep lamenting, keep praying, keeping honest about the season. Keep hope. And let's celebrate the birth of Jesus rightly at the right time at Christmas, because it happened the first time. But let's keep longing and groaning and watching and waiting and hoping for the second coming of Jesus, because it'll be even better than the first. So until then, have a holy Advent and a blessed Christmas time. And may the peace of God be with you. Amen.